Just go. Let's go. Yeah.
I'm Adam Manis.
I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear podcast.
Jazz. Explain.
Explain brought to you today by Open Studio. Go to openstudiojazz.com for you jazz
People
listen.
Are digging that,
well, I'm digging it. It feels right. It feels right. It's a great vocal warm up for the pod too.
It is good.
To do some. If I could combine it with some lip twirls, like some would be a perfect.
Oh, how about a little?
Oh, nice little cup of coffee.
Right.
Oh, that's the Peter Martin cup of coffee right there. How's it going, Peter?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Excited to be here today.
Yeah. I've actually got a cup of coffee that you purchased for me. I wanted to publicly thank you.
It's about time.
I privately thanked you.
Yeah, well,
which
thank you.
wasn't enough for some reason. I was like, thank you. And you said, no problem. And that kind of irked me. I'm not going to lie.
Man, I love some Blueprint coffee. If I could just take my Open
Not
Studio,
sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, if I could just from my bank account direct deposit to Blueprint.
That's kind of what's been happening
I
lately.
know. It's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. I'm excited about today's episode. This is going to be a good one. We love talking about harmony here.
Yeah.
I don't think we've talked about harmony on the pod in a little bit, although we do get around to it. But I'm excited about
I think
this.
we just talked about it on our keyboards. We just dropped some harmony.
We
You know
really
what I'm
did
saying?
talk. We talked big time. But I like the idea of talking about it through the lens of pop music. And I feel like pop music, I mean, of course, like we play jazz, we play all kinds of music, but like pop music is, for me, the harmonic equivalent of like, it's just like a really direct, it's like a simple meal with really great ingredients, right? It's like there's not a lot of like, you know, crazy accoutrement or like foam of like, you know, foam potatoes
drizzle.
or whatever. Yeah, exactly. But it's like just a really straight.
Is that a visualization of foam?
Well, you know how they have a wand with the foam and they take the, you know what I'm talking about in Spain.
Yeah.
They got a wand and they've got like, you know, some kind of like mint potato foam and they put it on you or whatever. This is not, pop music is usually a lot more like meat and potatoes style. Comfort food harmonically. And I thought we could talk a little bit about some of the biggest influences for us, because I think if you talk to any like jazz pianist or whatever, they have a laundry list of pop songs and pop albums that have influenced their harmonic language for sure. I mean, going all the way back, you know.
Yeah.
To like Ahmad Jamal, like
for sure.
you know, has like this harmonic language that was reflective of the pop music of his youth.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's such a great connection, no matter where you are in your journey, in terms of like your age and how long you've been playing music. Are you coming back to it? Are you just starting out? Are you exploring a new area? Whatever it is like connecting with those, usually recordings, but it could be a live experience, but those songs or recordings that first ignited, you know, your love of going from listener, maybe avid listener, to like explorer. And like, it's like the thing where you first were like, let me look in the back of this machine and see, it's a beautiful machine. Let me see how it's actually put together. You know, where it's like, I love this track. I love this song. I heard it on the radio in the summer of '83 or
Absolutely.
whatever. But then, you know, we don't stop there oftentimes as musicians. We say, you know, how is that put together? Like, what makes those chord changes great? What makes that harmonic progression great? Because a lot of times we're starting from the point of like connecting with a lyric or a sound, a texture. And all these things, of course, go into, you know, making a sonic situation edifying to us. And, you know, maybe we're connecting with a memory or a time period of our life. All those things work together. But I think that time when you start to say like, wait, what is that? As a musician, you put your musician hat on, right?
That's right.
That's such an exciting thing. And so I found that different tunes, like I was thinking about some of these Stevie Wonder tunes. There's so many of his that like that does it for me. Not to say that like when I first, you know, heard same thing where it's like, damn, what does that sound like? What does that make me feel? How is that different than the scales I've been doing?
But don't you think there's like a step to this process where like as a kid or as a young musician or as a beginner musician, at first you're into just like, you know, the popular music. I mean, you're a kid, right?
Yeah.
Most kids are into either the classical music that their parents are kind of like making them take lessons with, like on the piano, and you'll get kind of find music that way, or maybe through your parents' record collection.
Yes.
Or of course through the radio and what is popular, or just what's on in the car sometimes.
Right. Or just Taylor Swift being jammed down your throat everywhere you turn in the world.
Everywhere you turn. But I do think there's like, if you're a nerdy little kid that likes certain kinds of harmonies, then you're kind of more susceptible than to enjoy the old, you know, kind of bluish things, which we're going to get to, by the way, very soon. But I think that it's a bit of progression, and then like that never leaves you. So what were your favorite, like when's the first time you remember hearing a song and thinking like, whoa, what are those chords? Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
I mean, there was certain things like Long Ago, which was actually a Suzuki song I used to play on the piano. Oh no, on the violin in A. And I remember trying, like, that was the first time I sort of connected with like and tried to kind of improvise or kind of make up some chords on the piano. I think I was playing with my sister maybe or something.
So you connected with that.
Like that.
Yeah. For me, you know, like I have a very specific memory. So what was that called? Long Ago?
Long Ago. Traditional, I believe.
So I was probably 3 or 4, heading to the
precocious youth.
Precocious.
Of High Ridge.
I was maybe 4 or 5, heading to the Kroger off PP Road. That's the name of the county highway.
County highway.
Highway PP. And there was a Kroger grocery store and an Owl Be Back video.
Did you have to pull over and go pee-pee?
No, well, eventually. But going with my mom, and I can in her Volkswagen, her 1984 Volkswagen Rabbit, and I clearly remember this song. You know the song? You'll know it.
Oh, yeah. It's Hall & Oates?
It's a little blue-eyed soul from Philadelphia, Hall & Oates.
Yeah, Hall & Oates, right.
F minor 9.
Yeah. Wait, you were 3 or 4 thinking about F minor 9?
I just remember the vibe of this song. I wasn't thinking about F minor 9, but I remember.
That's amazing.
This part. I just remember like feeling that sort of like, there's like, you know, It's vibey, right?
Yeah.
And then I do remember the feeling of going into the verse. Going to that, like that lift there, I was like, whoa, that's not something you hear on other pop music, right? And then I remember feeling something with this part.
Oh yeah.
Little modal interchange going to the major. And
Major 7?
I've been
Down at 7?
chasing I Can't Go For That. No Can Do from Hall & Oates ever since. That harmony there. I mean, look at, we just listened to less than 90 seconds of the tune, and like so much interesting things happened. And that was a massive pop hit.
Yeah.
And to me, that like I'm still trying to write songs that are that good.
That's
all
cool.
that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
very Rod Temperton. Very like that
And
was.
then
Yeah. Up to the minor 11. Woo. Yeah.
good bass line. Great singing too.
Very
There's definitely
reminiscent of there.
some Billie Jean, yeah.
No, that's some good stuff. Okay, so I see you're up in the game. I got to up my game here
You
too.
got to up the game, man.
So this was a song, check this out. That was a big hit. And I definitely remember being like, what is that? Not the baby crying, because this wouldn't be on by the radio from a. Like I remember like listening to the Root movement. I was like, damn, what is that?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
when I sat down and was like kind of trying to play with it, I was like, oh, this is hard because it's an E, but otherwise it's sort of simple. But how does it sound so? And it's like vamping, but then it jumps right to the chorus. You know,
Stevie Wonder's Isn't She
Wonder.
Lovely? What are the changes there?
That's C sharp minor, F sharp 7, B7 sus, E major.
It's so good. And it's just this for the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, and then it kind of goes up to here. But even this goes to the 4. Down a half step. Relative minor to the 2. And then sus. I think it was the sus, because I remember, and then this, of course, it was like, and that's the part I figured out the first. I was like, I could kind of hear that, but I didn't connect that as much with the harmony as it actually is connected, that pentatonic scale. Because, I had heard like, what was it like? All the little lines that Stevie would do with pentatonic scale. I didn't even know the name of the pentatonic scale, but I was like, oh, that's a Stevie scale. That's what I thought it was at first, And I didn't understand how that was connected with the harmony. But later I realized like part of the thing is so satisfying. Like once I learned about shells, and the difference between that and but it's all fours.
Put that accordion
It's the circle
there.
of fours.
Show-
But the root movement, the whole thing is fours. And then even when it goes to the 4 chord, it's still going up a 4th. And then this is the only time it slides down and doesn't do a 4th. And then it goes up a 4th. Then it goes up another 4th. Then it goes up another 4th.
So
and then it
good,
ends
man.
up. So it's like the reverse circle of 5th. It's a circle of 4s.
I'm just at the age where the only Stevie hit that I got was I Just Called to Say I Love You.
Okay.
I don't remember anything before that.
Yeah.
At all. And so maybe there was one more. It was Jungle Fever later.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. Was there something? It was a hit between that and I Just Called to Say I Love You. I don't know if there was.
Yeah. Well, there was Part-Time Lover.
Part-Time Lover.
That was big.
But that was too adult contemporary for what.
That was kind of Daryl Hall and John Oates asked to the track you just played.
Actually, that melody is it's stuck in my head. But it was more for me Michael Jackson during that time.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Bad record was like right in my wheelhouse where that was the first ever cassette tape I bought was Michael Jackson's Bad. So those had a huge harmonic influence. But there was actually a direct lineage. This is how I discovered Stevie Wonder was from this track. So, okay, let me paint the picture. It's 1994.
Woo! Wait, 94?
It was 94.
Nice.
We live in High Ridge, Missouri. We don't have cable. I don't know if it was because it wasn't available up in the hills or my parents were cheap. I honestly don't know. But we never had cable. By the way, I just want to make a point. As soon as I graduated high school and I left my house, my parents got cable. the full
Causation?
package, and I don't know why I never got it, but
You know
I
what?
never.
Can I just paint a little just to make yourself feel a little
Go,
better?
yeah, go ahead.
When I was growing up, we never had cable, but we also never had a color TV. Not that I'm that much older.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding.
You didn't have a color TV?
We did not have. We had a black and white television.
That's why he's so good at the piano. This is why he's so good at the piano.
And they didn't get cable after I left either. They got cable like 6 years ago or something.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to my parents who just got rid of cable. I'm
They
so
cut the
proud of them.
cord.
They cut the cord. Yeah.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of courage
That
for some
does.
septuagenarians,
Right.
Anyway.
It also takes a son coming by to help them set that up, I'm sure.
I don't have cable, but we have a channel on my TV, and I have a little TV in my room, black and white, actually. And we have this channel it was first called the Jukebox, and then it was called the Box. And I think for $1.99, you could call and basically like punch in a code for a song.
What?
Uh-huh. And that was the first time I discovered this song. I'm a freshman in high school. This is the UK's Jamiroquai.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't really know Stevie Wonder at this point. I'm 14 years old.
Well, they did, so you're good.
I knew I just called to say I love you.
Yeah.
And I remember this song, and this was like the Hall & Oates, where I was like, what are these chords? This part. It's modal interchange, right? Going to the minor.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great tune, by the way.
Yeah. Nice syncopation.
So good. It's so good. Anyway, same year, I start hanging out with my friend Dave Johnstone, this great drummer who lives in LA now, and he gets a gig driving.
Dave Johnson?
John Stone. He gets a gig driving people from the airport to the bistro, or from the hotel to the bistro.
Oh, nice.
The Jazz St. Louis. And one of the people that we're driving one day is Gregory Hutchinson. He can't be that much older than us, honestly. Well, I was 14 or 15 at this point. He's probably 19 or 20.
Yeah.
I think he was playing with Ray Brown at the time, and I think we were taking him to SIUE for a clinic. Anyway, we're in the back of Dave Johnstone's parents' minivan, or he's in the back, and we're in the front, and Dave is putting on Jamiroquai because we were into the track or whatever, and he's like, oh, this is just Stevie Wonder. And we're like, excuse me now? What is this?
Can I write that down?
You talking about the I just called to say I love you guy? And he's like, yeah. And so Hutch really hipped us to a bunch of Stevie. And so this led us to things like Intervisions and Talking Book. And
Yeah.
I took away, and God bless Jamiroquai. I still have a soft spot.
Oh, this stuff was great. I was just
the sound of that is really good.
It's great. And the keyboard,
UK.
I'm forgetting his name, the Rhodes player who's played with him forever, who's actually a fan of the pod, by the way.
Yeah.
We have to talk that. And I apologize, I'm forgetting his name because he's a bad dude. But
He's got a great social media presence, actually.
Yeah, yeah. I was just watching Jamiroquai live at the North Sea Jazz Festival in like '95. So this was right during that time when they were huge, and when my man's hat was huge too. A lot of velour going vertical velour.
Matt Johnson. Shout out to Matt Johnson.
There you go. Yeah. So it's interesting you say
not the hat. That's J.K. Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson is the keys player. Yeah.
Right. But also check out. We'll link to this below. Is the Den Haag North Sea Jazz Festival, formerly in Den Haag, is putting out fabulous videos on YouTube now from that kind of mid-90s period. And they kind of got on my radar. I and subscribe to that channel so it pops up in my feed. But like these aren't getting a lot of views. I mean, they've got like James Brown live at it's great video and audio quality. And that festival, I mean, I did a lot. I mean, I've done a lot over the years, and it's moved now to Rotterdam and stuff. It's a historic festival. The first time I went there was in '91 with Betty Carter, and I have all these memories. But just hearing different players and Ray Brown, that's where I first heard him live, and it's such a cool festival, especially for the bigger kind of groups. And during that time, like when they would have Jamiroquai or something, it was in this huge. I mean, now it's big like that.
They were
too.
a huge band.
They were huge.
They still are in the UK.
Yeah, but they were always good at North Sea about getting those kind of jazz adjacent, because that's definitely. I mean, they're kind of neo soul, whatever they were calling it during that time.
It was a very '90s sound where you would have that kind of sound,
right?
Like
Brand New Heavies, and Nia Davenport, that alternative sort of like acid jazz scene or whatever. And it was kind of before like Maxwell and the real sort of like neo soul soul stuff.
I think
wasn't it?
D'Angelo came along and kicked everybody to the curb. You know,
but he
with
was
Brown
already doing his
Sugar.
thing.
Yeah,
of course.
You know.
Oh, and so they've got a great one of D'Angelo live at Den Haag. That's a good one to check out. And these things have like 400 views and stuff. It's crazy. Nobody's discovered him. So you mentioned Stevie Wonder. I mentioned Stevie Wonder, your connection. And actually, I realized even for like that album, Songs of the Key of Life, where you're talking about before that, with Intervision stuff, I discovered all that stuff later. I heard it a little bit.
Well, yeah, this was my high school journey, right? And I was actually going to play the exact I think this is the track Hutch told us to check out.
Oh, cool.
You know this one?
Yeah.
Music in My Mind, this album?
Yeah. Oh. This is, yeah. Oh,
This is one of the greatest 8 minutes of Stevie's career.
Yeah, when they come with the groove.
Mary wants to be a superwoman, but is that really
A major to minor, man. It's just all over the place in the music I like.
for what she is? Mary wants to be another movie star, but
Loud
is
tune,
that
loud
really
tune.
in her mind? And all the things she wants to be, she needs to leave behind.
Stevie was the master of like taking just normal stuff and making it seem
Very
weird.
well, I believe I know you.
That's just 1 4 to 5, but then here, the third time.
Me too very well, and I think I can deal with everything going through your head very well, and I think I can think very well. Wish that you knew me too very well, and I think I can cope with everything going through your head.
Ooh, and the timing of it coming on that 4.
Mary wants to be a superwoman.
The details.
Try to boss the bull around. But does she really think that she'll get by with a dream?
So good, man. It's just amazing. So all the things we're talking about that have in common so far, Peter, has a technical term that I've only recently discovered
Bad mo. Shut your
in
mouth.
the last year.
Oh.
Right. So I mean, I've been trying to write music with all of this stuff that we're talking about. This and it wasn't
Are the initials MI by any chance?
Yeah, it
Oh
wasn't
my God.
until
There he is.
It wasn't until we started really putting this stuff in Open Studio that people were like, "Oh, that's just modal interchange."
Yes.
And I was like,
And now you're saying that.
I was like, modal what now? I was like, the major and the minor, you know, because we're not smart guys. We're not.
Well, you're obviously smarter than me because, first of all, you were 3 or 4 PPing on PP Road as you listened to a minor
Highway
11.
PP.
Highway PP with a minor 11. You were both like you were both in your diapers and you were in advanced music
Just to
school.
be clear, I had no idea it was a minor anything. I just loved the feeling of going, but like I was attracted to that from such an early age. You know what I mean? Like it really stood out to me
Dude,
as
when
like,
I was 3 or 4, I was still PPing in my pants. I wasn't hearing any friggin' minor. No, but I was just thinking with this modal interchange thing. Full disclosure, I need to reach back out to
don't
our
worry,
attorneys
you don't have to
at
know
law.
about. You don't have to know what it is. You
Our
have to-
attorneys at law in Southern Louisiana.
The bullshit and the bullshit.
We need to check in with them. We have an unpaid bill with them. We'll talk about that later. But modal interchange.
Yeah.
Can you break this down for somebody, a friend of mine?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
A friend of mine. But start for their sake.
I'm gonna need a name, so you're gonna have to come up with a name.
Redup Nitram.
Say again.
Redup, first name, Nitram.
Redup Nitram.
Yeah. So this person, this
That
good
seems-
friend of mine, is a pretty good musician, but pretend like they know nothing about what modal interchange. Like maybe they know what it is, but they don't understand the theory of it, the connection, why it's called that. And
Redup
actually,
Nitram.
Redup Nitram. Please explain.
Okay. So for Redup, ridiculous. Modal interchange is kind of exactly what it sounds like. You have two modes.
That's not helping.
Okay,
me.
yeah, there's
I
two
mean,
modes,
Redup.
and you interchange between them. So if we're in the key of C major, right? Actually, let's go back. Hold on. I got to get this in
You
full
want some
screen.
chordy?
Yes. Go.
Boom.
So we're in the key of C major.
Yeah.
We have all of our chords in the key of C major. I'm just moving this triad up, right? So we've got the 1 chord, C major. These are just all the white key triads. D minor, which is the 2 chord.
So we're moving diatonic.
E minor, the 3rd.
Yeah.
F major, the 4 chord.
Hells yeah.
G, the 5 chord. A minor, the 6 chord. And B diminished, the 7 chord. And then we're here. Now, of course, we could do these with 7ths, right? C major 7, D minor 7 the 2, E minor 7 the 3, F major 7 the 4, G dominant 7 the 5, A minor 7 the 6, and B minor 7 flat 5 the 7 right back here. So those are all of the key, all of the chords, the diatonic seventh chords in the key of C major, in the mode of C major. This is the Ionian mode. Modal interchange is the swapping, the inter-exchange, if you will.
The interchange.
The interchange between two different modes. So if we take C Ionian and let's say C Aeonian, right, which is the natural minor, right, the sixth mode of E flat major. So C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, and B flat. This is the most common version of, this is the most common version of modal interchange between the C Ionian and the C Aeolian, right? This is one way to do it. So if you're playing
And why
tune,
excuse me.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that one? Because it's the most common, or is this theoretically where it's built off of?
It is the most common because it's the major and the minor of the same key. And
But
it's
why
the most
more-
common minor. It's the natural minor.
But why more so this than say the Dorian?
Because it gives you a sharp contrast between major and minor.
Gotcha.
Right? Most modal interchange is between some kind of major, third, minor, third situation because it gives you. But this one gives you like if you did, you could do dominant, and people do dominant. There's nothing like you could do. Right. So this is between C Ionian and C Mixolydian. Right? There's just one note difference, the B flat. If we do between C and C Ionian and C Aeolian, the natural minor. So now, like, if we want to borrow like the 4 chord, that's not it. Had A natural, but anytime you hear something that's like A flat, B flat, C, that's modal interchange, right? That's
Each one of them, or just the whole concept?
so this A flat to B flat to C, that's borrowed from C Aeolian. That's borrowed from C minor. That's such a common one. That's really the only one you hear in pop music for the most part.
Yeah.
Is,
Whole
so this,
step walk up.
yeah. And so like if you just take one of the games that we like to play around here is the Kush chord game, right? And it's where you just keep the tonic the same. It's major. Everything else you can change to the C minor. So like if you were to walk up all the major, now change everything to the minor. Right? It's got this lift on it with the major. So that's, so you mentioned Mixolydian. What about another not common one, but one we've been talking about is Phrygian. So A flat major starting on C, right? So this gets you stuff like C major and this sort of A flat or C Phrygian.
So when you're modal interchanging, you're typically not going straight from the original tonic to that other mode of that tonic. You're going to like another diatonic placement of the mode of the tonic.
Yeah, so think of it like this. When you're working with modal interchange, you have 14 options of chords. All of the chords from C major and all of the chords from C minor. And you can mix those however you want. So those are your 14 chords.
So if you do go straight from, well, like on the Stevie, is that still modal interchange?
Yeah, for sure.
But your roots staying the same.
Yeah, because C minor and C major, they're like that's the C Aeolian.
But a lot of your examples you were showing were like you're shifting to another.
Yeah, totally. But there is this is probably the most common way is to go from
What about like that sound that I love? A lot of people love it. Like C major, right? Up to F Dorian, F minor 7. Is that modal interchange?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the 4 chord of C minor, right? And maybe that's C Dorian. Or maybe it's it'd be C Aeolian. The F Dorian.
Man, I've never thought about it like that. It makes sense though.
That's what the 4 minor is modal interchange.
But that's a big thing, like thinking about it as opposed, like I'm thinking about it as the 4 of the 1, a major, and an alteration of that, turning that
Which
into
is
a dorian.
fine. Yeah, you don't like. I didn't know about this whole concept until a year and a half ago, Peter. So but I was still writing tunes with this all over, just following my ear with things that I liked. But another way that I like to think about this is the Kush chord game, right? Have you heard about Kush chords?
I have heard about it.
Okay, the Kush chord game
on
is
the
a
millions
fun
of
way.
views.
Thank you. Is a fun way to think about it. To me, it's more natural, I think, as a jazz pianist than thinking about modal interchange. To me, I get confused when I think about C major to C minor, because which C minor are you talking about? You got to be very specific, right? Because the key of C minor, I often associate with like an A natural, right? Like a C, and a G7. That's not in the Aeolian,
right?
That's part of like the C harmonic minor. So anyway, I've kind of come around to the Aeolian version. But what I also like to do, instead of thinking about it as C Ionian and C Aeolian, I sometimes like to play a game where I do C Ionian and E flat Ionian. I think about two parallel major keys, right? So the Kush chord game is like we do 1, 4, 5, 1 in C.
Yep.
And now we take everything except for the C and we take it up to E flat. So 1, 4, 5, C. And what's great about this is it keeps sort of the harmonic function of the 4/5 intact, right?
Yep.
So you're still using like a major 7 and a dominant 7 on the B flat, right? Which is the 5.
Yeah.
But you're doing that. And then you could do this with all kinds of progressions. 1, 2, 6, 5. Right? 1, 2, 6, 5.
And that's all of the E flat of the minor third.
Except for the C major, it's all E flat major.
That's great.
And for me, like, because we transpose all the time. To me, it's just easier to think of like parallel major keys and transposing this and this. But then also, it's a fun game to play because you sort of keep the harmonic function of the major key of E flat together within. I don't know. It's just a really fun way to think about harmony. And there's all kinds of different ways to think about it. These are just framing sounds that we like. And you could do the same thing with like that Phrygian. Like I have a short out, actually came out today, where we're doing like, so if we did the same 1, 2, 6, 5 and C. C major, D minor 7, A minor 7, G7. And did everything except for the C to the key of A flat, right?
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 6, 5. Yeah. Are those beautiful sounds? Or like 1, 4, 5, 1. That very simple one, just a 4, 5, 1. 1, 4, 5, 1. You get all these crazy sounds. You could do this with anything. Like you could pick any mode of the major scale. Like what if we did Dorian, C Dorian, right?
Yeah.
Like so 1, 2, 6, 5, right? So C Dorian, we would do everything except for the C.
Except for
1. The 2 is the same.
Same. Dorian.
6, half diminished, right?
Oh, right.
6, and then the 5 is minor.
Nice.
This is weird.
Yeah.
This gets you some weird sounds.
Okay, so this is making me think, I don't know if this is going to be official modal interchange, but this was also a big memory for me. So we're talking about, Michael Jackson and Bad and stuff. For me, the first record was, and really the first hit was I Want to Rock With You off the Wall.
So
like when that record came out.
I didn't see, this was a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
When I heard this when I was in high school though, I flipped the F out. I flipped out.
Yeah.
I was like, someone made a song just for me.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson wrote and recorded a song directly to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So and Rock With You, incredible hit. I remember that summer and everything. But this tune, I can't help it. I remember when I heard that because my sister had the album.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know if it was a hit, but it was like later on. But this, I didn't realize this for years later that this is actually Stevie Wonder's tune. But that chord,
I'll never forget.
and because it's so exposed and like the Rhodes, and I got a Rhodes like a couple years after. It took me a while, but like that sharp 11, like this. Now this was a time when I was like, wait, what the hell chord? I still don't know what to call it, but I figured that out. Like 13 sharp 11.
Yeah.
But how it resolves, you know.
Yeah.
And then later on, I started thinking about it. It's just 5 to 1.
I learned
the bass line.
I learned this my senior in high school in my friend Jason Van Diemen's basement in Kirkwood because he had a Rhodes.
Yeah.
And we had a little funk band and they taught me this song and then those MFers smoked me out. And I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I don't really do that kind of stuff.
Oh, I thought you meant they smoked you in terms of modal interchange.
No,
they
it was
mean-
it was a revelation of a day. Finding things I like and things I definitely should not
Right.
should not like. Yeah,
That's funny.
Don't like.
Yeah, but I mean, this thing of and with the bass, because I'm always like gravitating towards like the root movement and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like that up to the ninth. That was really cool. Like
But
that
all the
lift
little
up there.
details here, all the
Yeah. Okay. So that's the part I was gonna ask. Okay, let's just listen a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this. That's a fat mood bass right there. Oh, I was going like this. Woo. Details. Perfect fill. That snare sound. Come on.
Took me by surprise.
Michael's phrasing on this underrated.
I can't help but see you
4
running
to
often
5.
through my mind.
And that part, I was like, what is that? It took me forever to. But
So
you
let's
were
break this
talking-
down here.
Yeah, but so you were talking about before. I don't know if this is modal interchange because we're going, but it's definitely remember when you talked about moving somewhere else and then using the function if it's 2-5, 4-5, 1-6-2-5 of that other area, but then resolving back. That's what he does here because when he comes to here, we're shifting up to E right for a second, and then up to A major.
Yeah.
But then it's back to here, but it slips to there first.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So it's got this great little shifting between E major and A flat major.
Yeah. I think that's modal interchange. He's going
Yeah.
to the key of E major for
Yeah.
a few chords, right? And
Yeah,
you
because
were-
functionally that has nothing to do with A flat major, right?
No, this is like 6. Yeah, this is E major. I mean, it gives strong E major. Those are the first 4 chords
Right.
of an E major scale. And this, but it's also
And it's moving up diatonically.
this is by the way, it's Michael Jackson track. It's a Stevie Wonder composition.
Yeah, Stevie
and
Wonder,
it is
exactly.
absolutely genius because the first we could break down this whole thing. Put that chordy back up.
Put that chord in.
So right, so here's your A dominant 7.
Yeah.
With the sharp 11 and the 13.
Yep.
And this is crucial, actually, if you're going to play this song, because the bass movement goes from A to A flat. The top note goes from the F sharp to the
Little
G.
leading tone. Right.
Looking in my mirror, got me by surprise. Go to the 4 chord. I can't help but see you.
So it's like 6-2.
So this 2, though, is a secondary dominant. And actually, this is like a secondary 2-5.
Yeah.
And then where
It's
do we go?
6-2, right?
6, yeah, and then a 2 dominant.
Yeah.
2 dominant, which is a secondary
Yeah.
dominant. And we're going to the 4. Where are we going? Right?
4. Minor 4. Minor 4.
Right. So okay,
But
so
you know what? I think that's actually, this is like some diatonic movement into that weird E major, right?
This is
It's like
from-
the 6 to the 7 of where we're going,
well,
isn't it?
it kind of is a 6 to 7 thing, isn't it? It's like C sharp minor is the relative minor of.
Yeah. Although I think they slip in like on the E flat. I think it's 2. So that does harken back to being the 5, but it's like a deceptive.
Oh, so brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is like 4 minor to 5.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because we're coming from this B flat dominant.
Right, 2.
Right. So this is a predominant chord, right? This
Yep.
should go to E flat 7.
Yeah.
Voice
exactly.
voice leading
It's
principle.
like 1, 6, 2, 5.
But it's going to go to the 4 minor. That E, you're right, that's a dominant 7. And that should go back to here.
Yeah. But it's kind of going 2 different possibilities at the same time.
But it's a false cadence to this.
And then it just keeps, and that kind of makes it the fact that then it can move up diatonically from there.
It's just the first part of the song. It's just the first chord progression you get.
I know.
It's ridiculous. And this, by the way, is a major,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And then back to the dominant
Yeah.
7.
And the fact that it starts on this with that extended intro, and like the way you would think about this that wouldn't have made this as hip is if it started 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. But it doesn't. It's 3, 4. And then resolves down,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is, of course, either way is cool, would sound good, and then it's kind of a cyclical thing. But the fact that it starts here sets up so that when it gets back to the end of that first A section or that first verse, whatever you want to call it, so then you got major to dominant. Because if it had started on the 1, it would have been like, which would have been cool, but this is even more weird.
Yeah, no, it's super good, man. And then the chorus, where's the chorus go? The F minor.
F minor, yeah, the 6, and then to that 2 to the 5, 4 to the 5. But sharp 9, flat 13 on the 5. Yeah.
It's so good.
And like I think I was gonna say Steve. I've heard Stevie sing this, but he doesn't sing a lot. But I heard him live one time.
Yeah, so this is,
After
by the way,
Michael died.
this is from A flat major, A flat minor.
Right. Oh yeah.
A flat
so
major,
there's-
A flat
That's its
minor.
own little
Yeah.
modal and shit.
Yeah.
But Michael Jackson does a thing. Let me see if I can find it.
And just to clarify that for folks, so the chorus,
Yeah, break
that
it
F
down.
minor 7, that's from the key of A flat major. That's the 6th chord. This C sharp is from the key of A flat minor, or the D flat minor
This
7.
is the 4 of the A flat
Yeah.
Aeolian.
And this is like the 5, and it's that sharp 9 only helps to like solidify. Oh, that's from the A flat minor,
yeah.
right? Because that's a common. The sharp 9 is common in a minor key.
Yep.
More than a major, but it's
Right. Because if it was a minor major 7, that would be very unusual. Like, but
it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
and then at one point,
If I
Michael
wanted
Jackson.
to, I wouldn't help it. Even if I could, I can't help it.
He does
If
this
I
minor
wanted
11
to,
thing. I remember that was the
wouldn't
first time I
help it.
identified the minor
I
11.
can't help it. If
What
I
was it?
wanted
What was
to,
it?
I
He hadn't done it yet.
wouldn't help
I think he
Even if
does.
I could, I can't help it. If I wanted to, I wouldn't help it. No, I can't help it. If I wanted to, I wouldn't help it. Even if I could, I can't help it.
Dude,
If I wanted to,
nobody-
wouldn't help it. No.
Nobody has improvs badder than Michael Jackson for pop hits.
Yeah.
Nobody has improvs badder than Michael Jackson ever.
Man,
Ever. The
a
greatest.
master. And like that was the first time I heard like his timing and his patience with going to that was so cool, right? It's just like so whoa. It was just awesome.
sorry.
Not y'all good. Because they're sitting, and this is whatever 3 minutes and 40 seconds into it. I remember sometimes on the radio they'd already be starting to fade it out, but I remember when I heard that I was like, "What is that?" And I've been in love with the minor 11 ever since.
Yeah.
And like when I heard Herbie doing it, and like Steve, and the way Michael Jackson, because it's all day night, minor 9. It's really the minor 7 of the thing, but when he lifts up to that, and then all the different places you can go within the arrangement, and then with his improv and that blues line coming down. Come on.
It's so good.
Come on.
It's so. I want to give a shout out to another influential pop group, harmonically. At least, I mean, they're a small band, so I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the only one. But these guys.
Woo.
Shout out to George Harrison here, the composer of Something. This is from Abbey Road from the Beatles.
Oh, that's the same major 7.
Dominant 7. And this is all straight ahead here.
This is why you can't copyright chord changes.
I know.
They don't everything.
What key is this in? C.
Don't wanna leave her now.
To the 6.
I believe in how.
So even, yeah. Right, so
Weird
so
AF.
starts on the 4 and then E flat major, G major over D. But then it goes somewhere. It uses that, so it puts that in your ear.
Yeah.
And then the second time around, it does something, and the whole song is beautiful. The melody is gorgeous. The strings, all of it is perfect. And this is one of about 20 Beatles tunes that I could say uses this kind of like sophisticated. I just wanted to give George some credit here because he never gets the credit that he deserves. To the 6, walk down, yeah, home. Again, check it out.
Oh yeah.
A major. Now we're in A major. Right? This is a chromatic medium. Key change. Yeah, so it's like,
That's a total chromatic walk down, right?
yeah.
No.
But listen to the second
Now
one.
it may show. I don't know. I don't know.
back to
Yeah.
So again, that second time.
This is a killer.
You stick around
guitar
now,
solo.
it may show. I don't know.
It's a great solo here.
One of the greatest melodic soloists of his little pocket here. That's something from Abbey Road. Ever heard of it?
And even that little, like that walk up off the 5,
Yeah.
you didn't have to do that. You could have just gone right to the 6.
The Beatles, they get loads of credit, obviously, but I think for good reason. I'll never forget. My dad
Especially
played
this record. This was one of
Abbey
the few.
Road's is-
This was the only Beatles record for a long time we had in our house.
Yeah, that's a controversial take, Peter, to say that Abbey Road's a good record, but I'll let you have it. No, I
Well, it's
remember
controversial. It was the only one my parents had. Literally the only Beatles record they had.
my dad was born in 46, and so he was like learning how to play guitar during like when rock and roll and everything was happening, and he and his friends when they were teenagers in high school, which would have been just before this, they're
Yep.
learning songs, and he said, and it's like in 1964, I'll never forget it. We were learning all these rock and roll songs and everything's fine, and all of a sudden the Beatles came and it's like, what are these chords? Like what? He used to say like we couldn't play the Beatles because some of the chords were too weird.
Right.
It wasn't just 1-4-5 or 1-6-4-5. It was like all of these crazy modulations and things like this. And especially by the time you get to like, Revolver and then obviously Sgt. Pepper's, it's all over. But it's really we take it for granted now, but it was a thing to have
a weird
the
thing.
biggest band in the world again pushing much like Stevie,
Yeah.
the biggest pop artist in the world pushing harmonic boundaries is really fun. Much like Michael Jackson, honestly.
Right.
Same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, but see, that's a good example. In your family, we always wish for better for the next generation. Your dad was a teenager figuring out the Beatles harmony. Then his little boy, years later, it's just 3 or 4 years old, figuring out a minor 11 chord on Highway PP. So it's all good.
I want another honorable mention here. More contemporary honorable mention has to go to this whole album. I think this changed the way modern generations think about a lot of things. Rhythm, of course, but even harmony. You hear people rip off this stuff every day.
Shout out, Rob.
We did in our intro.
Did we? Yeah, we did.
This is Robert Glasper from his very first Black Radio album, Erykah Badu.
How many like YouTube tutorials like get that Rob Glasper neo soul laid back road sound came off of this?
It only gets more clear as the years go on how influential Robert was during this time on everybody. I mean, he is, of course, now worldwide respected and everything, but it was this time for him, I think, solidified all that, and will continue to. And again, nothing harmonically crazy happening here, but like all of these things, there's nothing harmonically crazy happening in something from the Beatles either.
Right.
But the placement of it, the timing of it, what else is harmonically happening around it. This is the job of an artist, is to evaluate what's all the other shit that's happening around me right now, and how can I make a statement on that and stand out from that using the tools that I have. I think Robert Glasper has been a genius at this his whole career. He's taken everything that's been around him and he's turned his thing into the sound to have, and that's a difficult prospect for anybody. But he's a master at it. It's proven.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to just throw in to dovetail with your honorable mention here. Wait, check this out here. So this is
Oh yeah. What is this? I know this. It's Mootastic. That's Mootastic right there. This Diane Reeves?
yeah.
Oh, so good. This is so good.
Yeah.
Is this Rob?
This is a Glasper arrangement. And I think he's
Oh yeah, this is a Stevie Nicks song. Right?
yeah. Where we talk about like kind of what you can do. I'm actually playing on some of this. I don't know what part it's me. There's like 3 different pianos.
Oh,
You want your freedom.
God. That's good. Woo.
Well, who am I?
But you're talking about like just a simple kind of.
How much is, again, this has been ripped off left and right. Diane sounds so killing on this stuff. Can I make a request that she should do a whole album like this? Can you make that happen? You know people.
Well, this record kind of is that. I mean, but yeah. But that was, I remember Glasper, I don't think he ever showed it. Like we started doing, he wrote it for something else. It's like, as you know, he kind of came up with this. It's just like, so it's just modal interchange. I don't know. Oh, we can't do that because Cordy's not there.
I got you.
But we got F.
There you go.
Okay, so we got, oh, this is mood chord, isn't it?
Buddy, I said mootastic.
Oh, that's,
I said mootastic.
so it's just, but this is in C, right? So the tune is in C.
Yeah.
But it's like, so it's like 4 to 5 with the moo.
Yeah.
And then to the 1.
That's a Stevie thing.
Yeah, exactly. But like walking up.
Summersoft is it? Or
Yeah.
no,
I don't know. But it's kind of like the other walk up of this is like a diatonic walk up, right? And then 4, and then back to up to the move 4.
Wait, do it again from the start. You got the
Okay.
4 over the 3, 5 over the 3.
To the 1.
1.
And that's the only like straight until you get to the 4. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh wait, what is it? Yeah. So then it goes straight to the 4, and then it goes back to the 4 over A. I mean the F over
4,
A.
yeah.
And then to the 5, but like 5-2.
Yeah.
G2,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then one
Straight mu.
one move,
One move, yeah.
and then to the 4.
Yeah.
It's funny. I played this a bunch, and like I played on this record, but I don't. She was like, is a great record, but it was so many different. Well, I know I had some good company on here. I played on it. Rob played on some of it. George Duke played on some of it right before he
Man,
passed.
so
and there might have
good.
been another, but nobody knows what.
What's the name of the album?
Beautiful Life.
All right, it's
I
going
wrote
on
a tune
my,
on here,
it's going on my May playlist.
and then. Oh, we got to listen to that.
That's straight up modal interchange.
Yeah, A major from C major.
In the stillness of remembering.
And this is just that same thing I just laid out over and over. That's the whole chorus.
You lost.
Who's playing drums?
Either Terry Lynn or Terry Ann Gully.
And what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining.
Yeah, that's it. But there's some mixed together too. It's like A major, F major,
D minor.
D minor, 9.
So again, stop. So that's straight up like going from A major to A minor, or from A major,
Yes.
the Kush chord, A major to C major, right?
Now I get it. Only an
F-
hour in before I get it.
Right, the F major and the D minor, like that's like the in A minor that would be like the 6 or the 4. In C major that would be the 4 and the 2, right? So
Right. Coming off the A minor Aeolian, right?
right. And by the way, the original of this.
Wait, what is it going? Oh, then it goes to A minor. So that's okay. That's what's cool about this. A major 7, F major 7, D minor 9, D minor 11, and then A minor, and then A major. That's that.
Oh, okay. Just
It's 4 chords. Yeah,
So
I
it's
think.
like- so
that's
it's
what I
like-
played. And then back to A minor, but yeah.
so good. Forgot the lyrics.
And then this next part. Oh, you gotta hear
By the way,
this.
I just saw Stevie Nicks last
Oh, that's
Tuesday.
right.
Yeah,
Did
we
she
can
do this
go.
arrangement?
She did. No, she did not. And she sounded killer.
Check this next part. This is some real like Glasperism.
You know.
Mootastic.
Sick. It's so sick.
Yeah, that is Terry. That's definitely.
Woo.
Diane.
Diane, come on the show. Let me talk you into. I got a project idea. I got nothing to do with it.
Oh, that's a dun, dun, dun. That's stolen from that Off the Wall album too.
Yeah.
because Taryn loves that. So this is.
She's the greatest. When does she have an album coming out soon? What do you know? Come on. Did you play this a lot live?
Yeah.
Was she doing this most shows?
I told you I love the minor 11.
Man, it's so
Minor
good.
13.
Again, modal interchange, to me, every time I hear something that I absolutely... Am I allowed to lean back?
That modal change got him leaning
I
back.
know. I was like, here, put me on, Caleb. Let's see this angle here.
How do you guys like the new angles? Are these new angles? What's
Oh
going
yeah,
on
I
here?
look like a people puddle.
A people puddle.
Yeah.
I was rolling down Highway PP with my people people
highway
puddle.
my highway people puddle. Went to I'll be back.
I'll be sure. We'll be analyzing him next episode. Remember him?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
No, I'll be sure.
I know.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story here is that sweet, sour, that dark light
Yes,
sound,
yeah.
that like warm, cold. That mixture. That is oftentimes
It's the essence of life.
the modal
the joie de
interchange. It's
vivre.
the minor and major combined.
Yeah.
Can I give you a
The
shout
yin
out?
and the yang, the zen and the zan.
Can I show you? We've
Yeah.
done a lot here, but can I show you the absolute greatest example in the history of modal interchange?
Yeah, please
I did
hurry though, because I got to go to Highway PP. To be honest with you,
I did a little short video on this, and it was pretty much.
do you make shorts?
I do make shorts. OG. OGMI.
OGWC.
OGMI.
perhaps?
Key of E major?
Ever heard of it?
Nope, that's wrong. Key is this it? I just had it.
C sharp.
C sharp. Thank you.
Diminished. Sorry, I'm messing it up.
If anybody's made it this far, it doesn't matter. I was just looking at this. Yeah, that's right. C sharp.
Or D flat. D flat.
Well, that's right. It goes to C sharp minor or E major eventually. 1 over third. 4. Five.
That was 13 chord there, wasn't it?
Yeah. OG. 6. Check it out. Hit me. Where are we now, Peter? Where are we now?
B flat minor 11.
2.
Minor 11. E flat minor 11.
We're getting there. 5. Sharp 5
Five.
diminished. 6.
Like a little 5 of the relative minor.
7. 1. 2.
Uno.
See this on a YouTube video,
Yeah.
any YouTube video where they're playing Clair de Lune, this is the most replayed part on all of them.
Oh, yes.
D flat, F minor, F flat over A flat, right? So that
flat over
major,
A flat.
minor. And it just, eventually, Debussy will modulate straight to E major, which is F flat.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
And the 2 dominant.
So good. Oh, gee. Right here.
Minor major 7. Augmented.
The whole. Now we're in E major. Dang. That's very, very nice. So good. That's Alexis Weisenberg playing that.
Nice.
Well done. Should we go out with a little playing of our own, Peter?
Sure. I'm inspired.
Yeah. What do you want to do? That's something without modal interchange. Nice.
Uh,
Are we gonna do the?
that little vamp.
Yeah. What is it again? Show it off.
So it's F.
I'll hear it.
Yeah. I cheated on that one. A major, right? Yeah. Oh, you got it. That's right. And then the interlude is.
Till next time.
You'll hear it.